Joey. Nice to meet you. I'm here to talk about AI, psychedelics, yay! And the currency of consciousness. What the fuck is that? Well, let me talk to you about it. So, good afternoon. Welcome. You are Denver's psychedelic enthusiasts and thought leaders and speakers and exhibitors, and I'm so grateful to be amongst my people. So thank you for being here, and thank you for pursuing this in whatever way is calling to you from here. I want to especially thank the humans that came to support me, my friends who love me, who paid money to come here to listen to me talk about psychedelics, even though every time that we hang out, they have to listen to me talk about psychedelics. And you're laughing, I know, because as psychonauts, we do try our best to contain our excitement about these life-changing compounds so that we don't get lumped in with those reputations of other oversharing enthusiasts, vegans, CrossFitters, anyone who's gone to an Ivy League school. And because of these life-changing compounds, we are self-aware enough to know to dial back some of that enthusiasm. Because we know it can be intrusive and a little annoying. And that when you are engaging and connecting with someone, it means more than just the words that they're saying. And that right there, baby, is wisdom. And dare I say, maybe an excellent example of the point that I'm trying to drive home today, which is how do we start to value the currency of consciousness? So what is the currency of consciousness? Well, it's our ability to receive others' social cues of discomfort when someone is on the receiving end of one's lengthy diatribe that they did not ask for. This is one of the most magical parts about being human. The privilege that it is to feel and to make more informed choices because of those feelings. The energetic exchange that lights up the meat suit and induces chemical reactions in our brains when we connect with another human. That je ne sais quoi, that poets and songwriters and artists and storytellers and filmmakers have dedicated their lives to trying to articulate. Feel that? You're quiet because you know it. And we collectively value it, but we can't put a big old price tag on it, can we? And in the words of one of the most epic humans to walk the planet, Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Whew! I'm a feeler. I feel things deeply, and boy, am I grateful for that. I've been in the medicine space as a guide for over a decade, and let me tell you, the scariest clientele are the ones who can't feel. Life has taught them to shut that shit down. And they've learned that feeling is somehow dangerous and threatening. And it breaks my heart because, girl, you were sold a lie. Because our feelings, they matter. And they're desperately trying to get your attention to help guide you towards a more fulfilled and joyful, and may I even say, peaceful life. Now, peace, that's a big word at the moment, isn't it? It is precious. It is coveted. And it is available to be cultivated. And those feelings, that connection to your inner landscape, those are subtle clues and guidelines directing you in a well-designed playbook of how to get that for yourself internally. And when we get that internally, we won't have to spend so much time trying to force it externally. We are designed to engage with the energy of life that we are innately a part of. And each of us matters in that design. That beings are meant to be guided towards that sweet peace that we are meant to live our days in. And each of us has a role to play in that. We're not here by accident. We have a purpose. Now, finding that purpose, not always easy, but worth doing. Now, before I go deeper into this talk, we all have to agree on a couple of things, okay? So get on board. Number one, Everything is energy. Can we agree on that? Okay, great. Number 2, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Can we agree on that? Excellent. Number 3, pregnant women glow. Okay, I know, hard left, but stay with me. Number 3, pregnant women glow. Okay, great. Woo! And number 4, again, stay with me. When the hair on the back of your neck stands up, when you cross paths with a complete stranger, that ignoring that feeling is probably not in your best interest.
100%.
Great. My people. Okay, so now that we've acknowledged that we've all had a shared experience of some creep that our body told us to get away from, let's talk about how valuable that is. There's a wisdom there that doesn't have data or proof that you can necessarily touch or put into ones and zeros, but it is something that each of us knows and understands at a primal level. And that to me is amazing. The humans are fucking amazing. This meat suit, masterpiece. Big fan, no notes over here. Love this. And that appreciation that I have for the meat suit, the body, I prefer to call it a meat suit, is and the reverence that I have for that body, that's wisdom. And there's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. Both are valuable, and they need each other. But for millennia, we have only really put monetary value on one of these two things. And boy, are there 5 companies right now in an arms race to own and have total control over that intelligence. AI integration is inevitable. The horse is out of the stable on that one. AI is very much here, and it cannot be put back into the box. And we, as psychedelic leaders and facilitators and people having this conversation, we have to be the gap to bridge intelligence and wisdom. Because the reality is, if you're working in the space right now, your clients are already using it. At 3 a.m. when they can't send you a text message or get a hold of you and get a response back because they're not on your calendar, they're looking at ChatGPT and saying, hey, why am I feeling this way? And they're getting a response. And we can't be shaming that intelligence because it's there. And it's helpful to a degree, but it also has to be used with a grain of salt. And there needs to be some wisdom in the room to put up the guardrails so that we can actually receive something that is bigger, something that is helping the humans. So we can't be afraid of it. To quote Sam Altman, my kids will never be smarter than AI. They'll be really good at using AI. Whew. Now to me, there's almost a surrender in that statement, like a surrender I've seen hundreds of times before in the medicine space. It's an epic internal battle, and sometimes heavy amounts of vomit. But definitely a submission to or of something. And my neurospicy brain loves seeing and identifying mirroring patterns, so it makes me good at my job as I help people untangle old narratives and adaptations that keep them stuck in old stories and patterns. And I see some mirroring patterns here. The internal life experiencing the death of the ego in the submission to the oneness by way of our fabulous compounds. Thank you, mushies. Mirrored by our external life in the death of our familiar and predictable existence as we know it, by way of the inevitable integration of AI. And if you've been in the medicine space, you know that fighting that makes it worse. Now, I'm not saying that we all need to lie down and throw on an eye mask and vomit our guts out while the robots take over, but I am saying that it might behoove us to make friends with this technology earlier in the journey rather than later. So let it be a co-creation. Participate with it. Shepherd humans into using this intelligence, but trusting their own wisdom. The same way that we help people befriend their ego in ceremony. No need to kill it. Also, no need to be afraid of it. But observe the information that gets provided with a grain of salt, and then check in with something wiser before we move forward. And when we can do that for our clients, they get more access to their wisdom. And then they can spew that wisdom into their circles. And then we have a chance. AI is energy, and I had us all agree that everything is energy and that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So technically, AI is and already has been a part of your relationship with the external world. And as we know, as the good psychedelic humans that we are, from within, so without. So that tells me that maybe our job and our purpose as humans is what needs to shift. That we need to adapt, evolve, grow a metaphoric tail. And maybe the call to action is to stop doing the stuff and things to become smarter than, or richer than, or more intelligent than. Because we're not going to win that race. We don't stand a chance. AI has us beat across the board. It will have the external world on lock. We designed it that way. But I'm not trying to think of this as a bad thing. In fact, I'm trying to think of it as an excellent thing, because if I don't have to worry about dealing with my printer or my coffee in the morning or the magic number that the IRS makes me guess every April 15th, I'm going to be able to be freed up to do the work that I actually want to do. The work that I'm actually interested in, that I know that you all are interested in. And in my opinion, that we as a collective species are being forced to engage with right now. And that's the internal work. Some of the smartest minds on the planet, accredited astrophysicists, have theorized we are just the universe trying to figure its own self out. And I agree with that. I trust those guys. So what is my part in that? My responsibility? Well, it's to figure out what it means to be me. To be curious about the curriculum of my life. It's my favorite puzzle. I love being human. I love to eat, I love to laugh, I love to cry, I love to run, I love to pet dogs, I love to dance, and I love figuring out what makes me tick, and why some of what served me for me to survive my childhood might be the very thing that's getting in the way of my absolute joy that I'm experiencing as an adult. What a gift that is. The gift of participating in cultivating joy, feeling, consciousness. That's an inside job, baby. It's bringing your inner life to a place of alignment that feels safe and solid. That is free of your limiting beliefs and from the default mode network that could be holding you hostage. And as we know from the psychedelic space, these compounds give us a shortcut to that euphoric state of wild liberation and freedom for a short period of time. And maybe AI is a helpful part of that external shortcut. Maybe AI and psychedelics are the new it couple, the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift of consciousness. So everything is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And the third thing I asked you to commit to is pregnant women glow. So the body is just an expression of the individuation of energy in motion. When I describe the DMT experience when clients are interested in working with me, I like to use the analogy of the ocean. Energy is all around you. It's in you, it's all around you. It is you. So if I scoop up the ocean and it's floating in the ocean, there's ocean around the glass, but inside the glass, also ocean. This is just glass. The individuation of the body, the self. And when you smoke a DMT releasing compound for 20 minutes or so, you shatter the glass. And you go back to ocean. Energy. And how our sweet little brains could understand the vastness of the ocean is not happening. It doesn't but our nervous system sure does. And that masterpiece is wiser than just our brain alone. And in my decade of years of guiding medicine, I know with my full being that that sucker is deeply connected to what I lovingly call the grid. Energy around you, ocean, meat suit, glass. And pregnant ladies don't need my toad friend to get access to that sweet ocean. They have a direct fire hose because they are cooking something important. A baby, they're making a baby. Okay. So the preggers glow when they're cooking something good, and if you've ever been in the medicine space, you know that humans glow when they're super high, right? And I deeply believe that we're actually designed to glow. And that the more aligned that we are with grid, ocean, energy, universe, divine, God, whatever word you want to put in there, make it your own, the more you take accountability for your existence and you do your homework on what it means to be you, the more you can identify with what is holding you back from your own fire hose, childhood traumas, impacts, patriarchy, third grade teacher who told you you were stupid. The more that you can heal those parts of ourselves, the more that we have a better shot of listening to that inner wisdom that is guiding us towards what genuinely lights us up. The nervous system dancing with life energy and chassaying us towards our own unique thread in the divine tapestry of the universe. And when we start to value this, the spending time of getting to know and understanding self, when we get to let AI take care of the external nonsense that has kept us as human doings and now liberates us to have the option of becoming human beings, that currency is going to become the most valuable resource on the planet. And that gold mine is in each of you, just waiting to be excavated. So, let's do a little bit of this excavation together, right now. I've been sitting in this conference for the last couple days, and it's very here, which is so necessary, because this has to figure some shit out. It's important, and it's never going away. But we're ignoring this rad thing. You can't tell me that we were designed just to be here, or else be rolling around on wheels and, a head in a jar. So let's take a second and get out of the head and into the heart.